Cuteness. Liking the t-shirt.
There you go, Tommy. There you go, cuteness. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's from Hairy Baby, so I have a few
He
of them.
loves a
But
hairy baby, don't you? You love
yeah,
a hairy baby t-shirt.
do you know why I like this one as well? Look, it's a bit faded, but I wear it going to. I've started doing hot yoga, and yeah, you're just. I think it's the right vibe for kind of hot yoga, cuteness. You know what I mean? But you know who's in there as well? I probably shouldn't be saying this. There's probably kind of non-disclosures to who goes in.
Confidentiality agreement when you go in
As soon
there,
as
is
you're
it,
right,
like,
but I know he won't mind it. Tomas O'Leary's in there as well.
is he? I love
Yeah.
Tomas, yeah. Class.
It's good crack. Well, sorry, it's not good crack. It's very hard, but like the class could be an hour long, right? And as soon as they do this kind of like meditation at the end, and they're like, take the time now for yourself. I'm there like, get me out the door so I can breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm cooked. You know what I mean?
I went there, but O'Leary's.
Larry could be there for a week. He could be like your buddy that has the 6 hour nap. I was showered, tug out the door, and there's Tomas. You know, what's the problem?
I have to say, I love that bit of yoga, though. I love that last bit, the vinyasa, or no, it's not whatever it is, anyway, where you kind of...
Yogis, get on to us in the comments, please. What's that called?
That's the proper meditation bit. You've done your stretch, you've done, and I pass it. I always am scared, though, I start snoring. That's the problem. Like, I don't know whether I'm in that, like, perfect, like flow state, kind of like meditative state, or whether I've fallen asleep.
Yeah.
And I kind of do this whole, and like the snort. I don't know.
Like a nana.
Everyone's looking at me going, they're
Tell
all
me
like
watching
rolling up their
Countdown.
towels.
But yeah, it's because maybe that's my problem. Maybe it's a mindset thing. I always kind of have the view I'm going there for the flexibility and the mobility, and I need to tie into the head side of it because
it's the best bit.
I don't get that bit. I in my head I'm there. Why would you do that when you're going out the door and the chaos just kicks off? You know what I mean?
You see, I can't get in. I find it very hard to get into that meditation state, and it's only yoga is yoga is the one that you can. And I feel that like the whole build up of the 55 minutes, say, is kind of winding you down, stretching, getting you into that, and then all of a sudden, then you're in that, and it's just lie down, and it just, I love it. Do you know what I hate about hot yoga though?
Go on. Sweating.
It's embarrassing if there's like a few people around, whatever else, and you get an old sweaty back and you're kind of rolling and it sounds like a fart.
I think embrace farting. You know what I mean? Maybe it's an age thing, but it's been the fucking funniest joke since you were 8 years of age, even younger. You know what I mean? No matter where it happens, if you're not laughing at a Rudy noise, all right, like you're at nothing. If I made that noise, I'm loving that. It's
when you say that, right, that Lucy, my wife, obviously went to hot yoga years and years ago, back when we were in Wales. And I remember she'd only gone once or twice, and she went with her sister, and she went, and there was a fella, and I'm not going to say who it was, but because obviously
we know
they won't be happy about it. No.
Okay.
He's one of the actors from Gavin and Stacey, the program, right?
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's Barry on the bus. I don't want to hear anything else. Go on.
So he was doing hot yoga, right? And Lucy came home, and her and Danielle were in fits laughing. And I was like, what? And he was there, and he was doing hot yoga. And listen, you know yourself, like sometimes you're stretching like that and you're holding it in. But he did a fart, and the girls were. And I'll never forget, anytime I watch Gavin and Stacey and I see them on it, I just think of him farting in hot yoga.
Well, my nan had a line, what you haven't got in your hand, you can't hold.
So if you're in the gym, or if you like, are you like, obviously
I'm not actively looking.
there.
I'm not actively looking to fart around the place, but I'm just saying, if you like, if a Rudy noise does happen, I haven't got the maturity to not bust my ass laughing. Like, it will always make me laugh. You know,
my kid's just obsessed with farts. Like, it's so funny. Do you mean they just love it? It's so good, and I love it too.
I actually think we all got to tap back into that area of like, you know what I mean? Just seeking, can we make people laugh with a Rudy noise?
The world is miserable enough. Let's just embrace a good old
give everyone a
fart
fart
noise.
gun and leave us at it.
I tell you what needs a good fart gun every now and a few team meetings, a few
Yes.
heart-to-heart team meetings. I know you were talking about this during the week that
Well,
or last week,
yeah.
because we've been in a few meetings where a few people have farted, and it certainly has uh,
Oh my God. Do you
diffused the atmosphere.
it didn't with one person. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We basically were kind of looking at the other squad are now meeting up, and there probably needs to probably be honest assessments of maybe the autumn, and this all gone off the back of the Champions Cup as well, when Saracens and your old coach Mark McCall gave it to Saracens on a Monday morning, and then they go out and put in an unbelievable performance against Toulouse, and we just thought it's probably worth addressing those kind of brutal, honest team meetings, and the ones that go well and the ones that don't go so well. So happy to kind of chat through those. But funny you say it. I remember Gert Small, our forwards coach, the big South African, strong. We were all shitless of the man.
Yeah, big
But
time, big man.
yeah, farting was again like that. You know what I mean? Like it was currency in our team room, wasn't it? You
It
know, like
was big
it's
time.
great fun. He found it the most disrespectful thing of all time. He could not believe fellas fucking, and he eventually it was getting too much for him, and he realized that we just see it as a bit of fun, right? So he was there like, "Can I ask in my presence that ye don't do that?" And we were like, "Yeah, but you're gonna miss something to joke, man." You know what I mean? We're like, "Are you sure you're all right for losing out on not hearing the Rudy bop?"
I did you ever room with Hayes?
Ah, he's a different level.
Man,
The what
he's a different level. But
never smelt.
oh,
They never smelt. Hayes's farts, genuinely, right? They would make it like honestly, they would make it was like he ripped his jeans or his shorts or whatever it was. Never a bang off him.
oh, you're probably right. I did room with him. I don't actually remember them smelling, to be fair. I do just remember the noises. But what I couldn't get over, he never farted in front of his wife.
No
Like, do you
way.
mean? No,
What a
yeah.
gentleman.
I'm like, how have you so much wind in you in this room whenever we're room together? But when you go home, there's never, it's like he saved them up for Irish camp.
This is brilliant because I probably shouldn't tell the story. It's not mine to tell, but I hope they don't mind. But I remember Tom Hayes telling me one time, like he was cut from the same cloth. But I think at one point, their mom got called into the school because of Tom Hayes's farting, and they were like, "Sorry, no, Mrs. Hayes, but we have to chat about Tom. He's farting too much in class." And I think her line was, "You should live with fucking three of them, four of them, whatever is at home. Deal what I'm dealing with." Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Imagine
wild.
teacher calling you in for farting too much in class. Oh, so good.
But
Right,
but
let's talk.
once I cleared haze from a gym in Poland. Do you remember they used to give us like I think it was like a barley soup. There was and I had this barley soup at lunch. We went up back, had our nap, and went in for a gym session in the afternoon. And I fucking stank the place out. And it was the only time I've seen because he's quite relentless. He was there he had all the doors open. He was there. No more, Callahan. No more.
It's the barley soup, Hayes. It just doesn't agree
That's
with
all I
me.
kept saying. And then when it was on the menu, because we were there so long that it went on
Oh my
repeat.
God, that
I remember he was
place.
there. There's barley soup up there. You're not allowed near it. So
Oh, that place, so
yeah.
Donncha. Oh
I
my God.
I love that we said we were going to chat about crisis meetings. We chatted about farting and spala. We
Uh,
will at some point chat about spala. That's a dressing room in itself, and it's worth covering because it was
it
tough, man,
is.
wasn't it?
Oh, that place was hell. That was hell. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Let's
Not
get back
just for
to
the smell
topic.
of the barley soup or your farts.
Uh,
Okay, crisis talk, right? Well, listen, tell us the one big crisis talk in Irish rugby that is well documented is that one in Enfield. Declan
yes,
Kidney came in. Irish rugby have been thereabouts, won a couple of triple crowns, but never
that is true.
quite got there.
Yeah.
And Munster were in a real clique at that stage, weren't willing to talk and open up to the rest of the provinces.
Fuck, that's
And
harsh.
thank
No,
fuck
Tom.
for Rob Carney.
Did you feel that though? Yeah, like because I know it gets kind of, but I don't feel we were cliquey.
I used to get on great with the or the Munster lads, so I didn't feel it
Yeah,
personally. But
yeah.
there was definitely Listen, you were the team at the time. Like, you were
But
the
then
number
the
one
funny
team.
thing, like we used to slag Raj that oh, here comes Shane Horgan, Dennis Hickey and Brian. Bye, see ya. We'll see you at like the end of the Six Nations because you're going to be off with your real mates, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
but you weren't.
no, but
You weren't talking to the Leinster
you know,
lads.
what am I? You know, I was chatting, but like, what do I chat to Dennis Hickey? Like, you're the
No,
only,
but like
you and Truly are probably the only wingers that I
Mal,
get on with. Mal, I got Mal.
Leo, like
Mal
those
was
boys you hated.
serious crack.
Yeah, but
Malcolm O'Kelly.
you didn't talk to him really.
Yeah.
Like you,
No, not true, man. Not true. I fucking
Quinny hated the Leinster back rowers.
brilliant. Look at this isn't what we're chatting
Fla.
about, man. We're chatting about these kind of crisis meetings. Anyway,
Oh
to
yes,
make your point, to be fair to Rob Kearney, that was a perception that people felt in the setup, and he
in the
had the
camp.
balls to air it. And as soon as probably what happened with Saracen and all the good meetings, it needs absolute honesty and it needs loads of care. And I know that sounds really shitty, but Rob cared about the general group getting better, saw this as a flaw, knew that it was an underlying issue with other people, and fucking just said it. So I
Does does Carnes get like so? Is Carnes the key to this? Like, I wasn't there. I was in
no,
Wales.
oh well,
Like,
sorry.
did like was it? Did he bring it up because he was kind of they were in a group and he was the youngest and they kind of said, right, you have to stand up and
Yeah,
say
yeah,
this
yeah.
here, or was it like was it genuine? Was he a young fella and just kind of was naive, or like was there a couple other people kind of said things around this, or
Yeah.
was it just Carnes kind of stepping up and kind of say giving it like it was?
From my memory, it was, you know, you break off with in small groups with kind of these little whiteboards, and you come
Yeah.
back, and he presented. And to be fair, it wasn't up on the board from what I remember, but he elaborated a point and said it. And what I remember is I think a few of the Munster senior players went, "Oi, hold on," you know what I mean? They could hear the honest appraisal, the honesty from him, and they were like, nearly fucking flesh that out a bit more. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Keep going. And I do remember, like genuinely, the Munster lads, I felt in the room wanted to hear it because maybe it is true. Maybe we the blind spot on it and didn't spot it. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
he genuinely was telling what he believed to be true. So we were like, keep going with that. And then that was probably the fucking beauty of Kidney as well, that he could. But I
Well,
do
that's what I was going to
remember.
say because as a monster group, you wouldn't have seen that. So to
No,
ask him to elaborate on it more, you'd probably then go defensive. So was it Decky who kind of said, "Okay,
yeah,
well, this
but
is the
and
problem
it
here.
was
This is an
also
issue."
it was also like the Raj. It was also the likes of Paulie, kind of going, "Listen, man, we're now hearing you. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And you're saying something that can help us all here. So fucking go now." But I do remember he was getting looks from other Leinster teammates of "shut the fuck up." You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, this
yeah.
doesn't need to play out here. I'd like this. Like maybe he was showing. But that's what that whole environment needed, because at the moment we're good for
Mm.
triple crowns, but you know it, Tommy. If you want to drive on for Grand Slams, man, everyone has to go that little bit further. And I remember we in Enfield we were staying in these kind of lodges out the back, so it was real kind of disjointed. Now there was loads went on within that camp, and like Cairns' part was really important, but there was some fucking brilliant meetings, man.
Mm.
Padraig Harrington came in, and honestly, it like, mm, and just for me personally, it like it's kind of mind shift, life changing meeting where he just really went through the nuts and bolts of how he thinks and how he puts. No one was chatting about mental preparation. You know what I
No.
mean? And we were like, and here's him saying, not only does he do it, man, this is how it's shot his game into it. So, but just to go back to the Rob Kearney point, I remember myself and Marcus were staying in the same kind of room. I think we were roomies at the time. We were going back
Of
and we
course you
saw
were.
him.
Monster lads.
That's because fucking there was no Ulster lads around the
Standard.
place. Sorry. We were heading back, and I remember just honestly saying it to him straight away. We were there like fucking one, fair balls for saying it, and two, thanks. You know what I mean? Because we we didn't perceive it. You know what I mean? We didn't see it, and we're grateful that you actually had the fucking honesty to say it, and two, that you give a shit that we could go better and do something
Mm.
big to, you know what I mean, in green shirts. So yeah, it was one of
For
those
a
ones.
young lad to do that, because it was back in those days as a young fella, it was hard to get heard. You
Yeah,
know.
but I do look that maybe personally that's the
Yeah.
beauty of Kidney.
Yeah.
Like Kidney was chatting to, because he'd coached those lads at kind of maybe 20s or under age level, the likes of Cairns, Jamie, Tomas. And a bit like myself when I was coming into the fold, he was there like, I don't want you to just come in, man. You know what I mean? Go, go, go. You know,
Yeah.
like I remember Decky chatting to me about golf. He was there like, on an 80-20 of you playing better than him, percentage wise, I pick him all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
He is so important to everyone else in the room. You have to blow it away, man. He's
Yeah.
there like, show me now, show me with performances that, and
But I
he
think
just,
Andy Farrell's probably thinking that at the minute from
yeah,
from players like, I need you to be 80% better than whoever you're up against,
yeah,
because there are players who I would imagine he's thinking, what am I going to do here? I need to try and mix it up a bit. But
big time.
realistically, who the fuck is battering down that door to knock Golub out of it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I think you're right. I think over the last while, he has shown incredible loyalty, but maybe performances and discipline areas and execution areas, like our set piece has been bad. That's how you reward the coach. You know what I
Mm,
mean? With
yeah.
like, I remember, I'm going back to Laurie Fisher line of, I remember him going to me one time, your only currency is performance. You know what I mean?
Big time.
Give it all the fucking chat. Eve's there. All I look about is what you do for me on 80 minutes. And
Hmm.
then we can have chats about that. And I do think Farrell has been incredibly loyal, but now I do think there's blood in the water with that a little bit from the kind of players' point of view, that they need to ramp it up now. But it
Definitely.
hopefully should give an opportunity for fellas to, because
Well, I think there are a couple of lads that I do think have gone well over that kind of Christmas period, which is a full on period. But
yeah.
is there anyone really that, like, if you kind of think, like, is there anyone the English media is talking about as an unbelievable standout player at the minute? Not really.
From Ireland.
From Ireland.
But they're all talking us down anyway, man.
Yeah,
Look,
true. But
yeah, I hate to say,
sometimes,
everyone's waiting for the demise. You know what I mean? They're
yeah,
waiting for us to kind of fall over. That's why I'd
licking
love
their
it
lips. Yeah,
if we
licking their
came up the
lips.
inside lane and balked a few of them, man. That's, you know what I mean? Just because it shouldn't work, but yeah, yeah.
Tell me, did you ever room with any Leinster players?
Yes, I roomed with Rob. I roomed with Leo. I roomed with Church.
Oh,
Cian
come on.
Healy. Cian Healy, priceless. In Rotorua, man. It was one. I've probably told this before, when he woke me at 2 in the morning because he was heading down, or sorry, 12 at night because he was heading down for they had those outside
The
jacuzzis.
jacuzzi.
He was there, do you fancy a kid? I was there, no, I was planning on getting 6 hours more sleep here, if that was all right with you. No,
And then he comes in and lies on his nail bed. We
yeah,
used to sleep on one of those, like he'd sleep on the floor, Cian would,
yeah.
on like
I
kind of
remember
those acupuncture beds.
Karen's been so meticulous. I hadn't seen
Oh
anything
yeah.
like it. Yeah, I felt bad, kind of, you know what I mean? Even just walk, because Rog was my roomie normally, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not that it was messy, there was order to it, but we weren't too
Well,
finicky about it.
I'd imagine you're orderly enough. I'm a bomb site.
Yeah, you
Carnes
are.
used to hate
I
rooming with
remember
me.
calling into your room, man. It was hectic, wasn't
I
it?
just go in, flip the bag
Yeah,
upside down, right?
yeah,
That's
that was
me.
it.
And
Oh, there
go
was,
through it. There's a pair of jocks. There's a
yeah,
pair of short. Oh, is that the right?
yeah,
Have you seen a second white sock there like that?
yeah. Nightmare
Carnes
stuff.
has them all perfectly folded in their own neat compartments. In his, like, do you remember those Canterbury bags? Like, they were kind of like a half and half, and it opened up and it had like 6 different
Yes,
compartments in it.
yeah.
Like, he fucking loved
Love
that.
that.
Like,
He'd
he was
love
like, "Going,
that. Yeah.
this is the socks go in that one, the jocks in
Oh,
there, these white socks." Oh, I loved it. Where I
Shane
was just like,
Jennings was like
how
that
much
too.
could was he?
Yeah,
Jenno,
Jeno has
right?
that. I thought it might even be just a little bit compulsive, isn't it? That they need to,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
big
yeah,
time.
yeah,
The big time. Like, there's a definite OCD in Carnes. Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Right, let's quickly talk then. So that Enfield one was a big team meeting. I remember actually I was in a team meeting a long time ago back with Mark McCall as well that you
Yes.
mentioned him.
No, this is good to do because obviously he is late to this conversation, but just give us some insight, one on him and two on the way he would have led that kind of a chat.
It was desperate, this was, and I feel really bad because it was back at the start when Mark McCall and Alan Clark were kind of just, they were young Ulster coaches. Alan Solomons was their head coach before that. Solly got the boot. The two young lads were promoted. So young lads, I'm calling Mark
Yeah.
McCall and Alan Clark young. But they were kind of like a 50-50 almost coaching team at that stage.
Doesn't
And
work.
Ulster were going through a bit of a transition. We actually won the league that year. That was the last time we won this, like 2006. But it was the following year after that that the wheels came off, things started to fall apart. And I remember these crisis meetings being called, and this was real new to me. I was like, what the hell? We were doing like you had to open up, and like Smalley was Mark McCall. He like said, okay, I'm going to leave the room now. You guys can open up and talk about this and tell us what you think and discuss this. And we'll come back in 20 minutes and you can tell us completely honestly what you want to change, whatever else. So I remember like they left the room, and then 20 minutes later, like, and the boys were ripping it. Like they were going, we hate that. That's shit. Get rid of him.
Oh,
Why is he coaching? And I remember like it was a really like toxic. It was bad, and
yeah.
there was
Yeah.
there was kind of like
There's nothing
those.
worse, Tommy, than than bad ones of those where the
Yeah,
fucking the negative gets the, you know what I mean? It's just the bitching and whinging and moaning group.
totally. Oh, it was horrendous. And there was one group that were leading that, and they were having like almost side meetings away from training, kind of going because they weren't getting picked, and they were just, and they were just negative around the whole environment. And then you had the other group, and I remember like I think Humph, we had to write down. Humph was there, and Humph was writing down the notes what the players were saying, and he had to take it into Mark and Clarkey, and they read through it, and like they came into the room and they were just like, do you have any fucking idea? Like, there's people who are getting picked, like, you shouldn't even be here. Do you know, like, we're
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh my God, that was whenever things kind of fell apart. And
Yeah.
it was unfortunate because at that stage we'd won the league the year before. Things were going through a rocky patch, and just a bit of negativity came into it, and the whole thing started to crumble. And unfortunately, Mark and I think did Alan go as well, but anyway, Smalley left,
Yeah.
and within 6 months or a year, he was then brought into Saracens by Brendan
Venter.
what's Benter.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, that's interesting. And then Saracens went through this whole revival, and like, look at the success of Smalley
And
now.
he's been
Like,
at the heartbeat of it. Yeah, when you're looking at great European coaches, he's,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
Top of
remember
the bus.
another one we did. Like I've been a part of a lot of these meetings. Like, I remember there was this one that you had to do like a stop doing, start doing, keep doing. So you had to. So it was Matt Williams brought this into Ulster, right? And we
Right.
had to like. So everybody had their name written on it. So it was like
Yeah.
Tommy Bowe here, like Andrew Trimble, Rory Best,
Yeah.
Justin Harrison was there. All these people, right? And it was so fucking. You could write whatever you wanted on people, and so everybody had to leave.
I could write on your.
You could write on me, right? So
Oh,
anything that
wow.
is annoying me about you or whatever else, right? So we had like the 2 hours over lunchtime told, right? At some stage, go upstairs. Is there somebody that's pissing you off? Is there something that's pissing you off? Oh,
Whoa,
fuck. Justin Harrison wrote on Trimby
Trimble.
stopping. Yeah. Oh.
But I can understand. That's the beauty of Trimble, isn't it? You either get him or you don't at
Oh
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't get him, and
Yeah.
he wrote stopping such a fucking he was really cutting, right?
Wow.
And I think you could write your name, who's writing it beside you, but you weren't allowed to take any offense by what was said. We were all just there. We had to take it on the chin, and people were writing great things like "love your positivity, keep going," and
Yeah.
"you're leading from the front all the time. You're brilliant the way you always turn up early." But there was people writing like kind of going like, your constant moaning is really sapping the whole squad, or your shit banter is like, but I'm like,
Sorry, personal attacks. Like,
yeah,
you know,
personal
your
attacks.
shit crack.
I remember, and you used to have to
Poor
come
old
in
Paul
and
Marshall.
you'd have to read your piece of paper up and like I remember another one of these. I did this in the Ospreys actually as well, and we did the exact same thing, right? But we had to write about certain people. Oh Jesus, what was it? Well, I remember in the meeting we all got split up into our little groups and we had to talk about certain people. And I remember like it was this psychologist. It was a guy called Clay from Australia, and he was taking us through this, and it was really personal stuff. He was trying to get
Okay.
us right down to the bare bones. So he kind of said, right, would anybody like to volunteer first? Who would like to volunteer to kind of stand up and get like a bit of honest feedback? And I remember Duncan Jones, remember the
Yes.
blonde hairy
Yeah, yeah.
Jones?
The Hair Bears.
So Duncan stood up. He said, "Yeah, I'm happy
Yeah.
to go. Yeah, I'll go
Gentlemen.
here. I'll go first." And it was literally anyone can say anything about you, and we want to hear like your honest appraisal. What do you think of this person?
You're rare shit.
As like as comment like 5 and 6 started to come in, like you started to just see Duncan wilt.
Get smaller. Yeah.
Oh, you just saw just like going like that's really hurting me here, stuff that like he kind of thought like was a real positive, that he was real like they were like, you're too positive. You're too yeah. Like typical Welsh, like cut you down for being too nice.
What's
Uh
your problem with the fucking smiling?
oh, big time. Like some of those meetings. Like if I think back to them nowadays, like the
Yeah.
HR like team would be just going through the
Ab
roof with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And you probably, there needs to be a bit of it because like that, you do have to kind of self-police and you're dealing with egos and you know what I mean? It is important in a way. But I do think, like you're saying there, the likes of Mark McCall, I'm just going back to the kind of deckies, having the right people kind of going, okay, no, we're actually steering away from
Yes. Yeah.
pushing the team in the right way. Like we brought in a thing in Worcester, right? And it was because Worcester was here, and there was a David Lloyd's across the way from it. So we used to say after training for 45 minutes to an hour, there's a Sappuccino over there. So we'd go and we'd bitch about everything. We'd whinge about the coaches. We'd whinge about what fucking facility or whatever. Or
Love it. Yeah.
anyway, and if you're not there, you're fucking on the agenda. But after that, then don't be going off in small groups. You know what I mean? Don't be kind of like stern. If you had something to voice, get over there. And it was kind of player led a little bit because
Love it.
it
Yeah.
was very different over there for me, Tommy. I was probably seeing honest appraisal happening all the time. So we didn't wait. Thankfully, with Munster, we didn't wait till it became a problem. If I was even struggling with you, like Leamy would constantly go to me, I need a fucking break from you now for a while. Just
Mhm.
keep clear of me. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. And then I kind of every now and I check in, I'd be like, hey, how we doing? He's like,
Yeah.
not yet, not yet.
Yeah.
See,
Well, that was one thing that was very good about you, Munster lads. You were very honest with each other. And I
yeah,
think that was probably a strength where in Ulster we would have tried to be, but just didn't have it. And the Ospreys was just a different level. Like I
yeah.
couldn't, and anyone who wasn't at that Sappuccino was torn to shreds. You
But
were fucked.
that does become the pressure to make it because you're there. If I'm not over there, I'm on
Ah,
the agenda, man, and they'll go for me. But the
big
one I
time.
remember in Mustard though, like when stuff was happening, say the lineouts there, I'd be there. Like my movement on the ground is too slow, so I'm arriving at the front lift a split second too late. So that's my bad, right? But there's also other things happening, and what I noticed with Munster, right? Then someone like David Wallace go, yeah, that's fair enough, but I over chase and I end up pushing him forward onto you instead of, and everyone's critiquing everyone and everyone's putting their hand up. In Worcester, I'd go over and I'm there like, yeah, I went a bit too far forward there and jumped to my front foot when I should have jumped to, and no one else would talk.
And they were
I'd be
like,
like,
"Yeah, you were right."
100%. But then loads of people will come over to me afterwards and kind of go, I could have got to that front lift better. I should have had a bet. And well, why the fuck didn't you say it in there? Like,
I know.
there was
I
nearly a
know.
fear to show weakness. And like, I
Yeah.
do think for those kind of big meetings, that's what you need. You need honesty. You need to give a shit about people. And then you're away for slates, aren't you?
Do you know what another thing I think you need is you need a good head coach who can hear that and say, okay, Donncha, that's great feedback. What about who missed the jump in the front of it? Who could have done,
Yeah.
instead of just accepting you holding your hands up and
Yeah.
moving on?
But
Or a bit like, those meetings that I was a part of where it's like, okay, like now we're getting a bit personal here. We've heard that. Let's, but how are we going to use what these messages here, or how are you going to use this message to turn yourself around before it gets too cutting? And unfortunately, I was a couple of those that it did get. And
yeah.
that's where the lead. That's where we talked about before with Decky, that he was able to kind of turn these sort of like small messages, but actually use it to their advantage to
Yeah.
actually bring out the best in everybody through it. So yeah,
Incredible. And just that you say that, I remember Paul O'Connell was quite incredible in those meetings as well. So maybe highlight, or you'd put your hand up and he'd be quite clear of, this hasn't landed, lads. You know what I mean? We're not all learning the lesson here. It's Donncha's fuck up here, 100%. But that can't be any of us next week. You know what I mean? So are we all taking this in, you know what I mean, in the room,
Yeah.
that that's not acceptable, So just kind of, I do think it's important to have those kind of people on the ground that are spotting it. Another thing he used to always do was, don't come to me with a problem unless you've thought about the solution. So I know this might sound nuts, but like we would chat about training weeks, and of course when strength and conditioning and rugby are kind of colliding, everyone's looking to get their best bit, but they mightn't realize when you're in it.
Yeah.
And there was sometimes I'd question the program, and he'd be like, "Well, fucking give me the answer." He's like, "How do we fix the program?" And I remember once I learned that with him, it was like all he wanted was the ammo to go fight for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I'd kind of go, "Well, at the end of the weight session, if we done the walkthrough, it frees that block." And then he was like, "Okay, now I can go, but don't come to me bitching and whinging about stuff you haven't thought about. Don't give me your problems."
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
wise. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's easy to bitch and moan, but like, can you
100%
actually
it.
give us an option? How are we going to fix this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Very good. There you
Very
go.
good.
Right. There you have it for another episode of The Dressing Room. Donncha, thank you as always. Again, if
Good
you're
on you.
listening to this podcast and you've got tickets to the live show, we really look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully, if you haven't got tickets, you might still get out there. And I think Cork and Limerick, there might be a few still available.
Yeah.
So we'd love to see you there. But we've got some great guests that we're going to announce, and even getting closer to the time, there's going to be more and more going on around it. So best of luck, and Donncha, we'll see you Friday.
Go well, Tommy. Yeah. Looking forward to it. See you Friday.
See you, man.